Hi, my fellow gooners, humans, and everything in between. Concourse TV, the place to be. Arsenal Players World Cup 2026 review. It's been long awaiting this and just getting it together, but let me drop it now. Quick 10-minute piece. First, we're going to cover Saliba right here. Saliba, I'd say he had a 8 out of 10 performance. The only reason why I gave it 8 out of 10 is because he hopped off injured. And yeah, France fell apart as soon as he came off the pitch. So I can only say an 8 because, yeah, you didn't complete your mission, sir. And there's no favourites when it comes to me. So let's move to the next player. Saka. Right there. Ding, 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 ding. He's got a fresh trim now. Let's hope that leads to a fresh kind of butt whooping next season. He's been off the boil for a minute. He's shown flashes of brilliance during the World Cup, but I don't feel that's enough. I haven't seen the best of Saka since 23-24 season, but I understand when your manager runs you into the ground and doesn't buy you adequate backup for seasons on end, the math starts mathing, as they say. Saka, I'm going to give him the same. I'm going to give him an 8. Actually, no. Sorry. I'm going to give him a 7. I'm sorry. I could even give him a 6. To be honest. He had good moments, but the fact that Madueke had his spot because he wasn't even fully fit. Then he came back 50% fit, and then he was out again against Argentina, and then he was back again in a match that didn't matter. That peeved me right off. So no, actually no, it's a 6. I'm intrigued to see who argues with that, and if you do, let me know your reasons why. Declan Rice, I'm gonna give him a 6 as well. And again, for the same reason as Saka, you were needed in the most important match, England versus Argentina. You're not anywhere to be found, MIA, missing in action. And what do? Turn up in the game, it doesn't matter. I didn't care about that game against France. I'm not going to lie to you. Third place, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? France didn't, and I remain adamant that as far as I'm concerned, they didn't turn up because they didn't care. They weren't winning the World Cup, so they didn't care. I think the second half, Deschamps was like, you lot ain't about to ruin my record with you guys just because it's my last game. You better go out there and show something. And second half, they did. They were just lucky. England, I think that was 4-0 at half time. Because to finish 6-4 is kind of a shambles, if we're being honest here. So, yeah, there you have it. Who do I move on to next? Odegaard. See, I've seen a lot of purring about this guy, and to be honest, I wasn't that impressed. I think their best player was actually their left winger, who also plays as a cam, Shajelderup. I've been talking about him for a minute. He's been in my World Cup Smart signing list, so if you haven't seen that video, go watch that on YouTube. It's there for you. There's a full breakdown of players from the 48 nations. Not all of them, but I've covered all of them just so I've covered all of the bases, if that makes sense. You get me? All right. Odegaard, I'll give him a... I'll give him a 7, because at least he turned up for all his games. I'll give him a 7, sir. I'll give you a 7, sir. But for me, I need to see a lot from Odegaard this season. I need to... Again, he's another one. Missing since 23-24 season. And yeah, you've had injuries and you had a child, and I understand, but life happens. Sorry. I don't have excuses for not turning up when I gotta do my job. So if you don't do your job and you're getting paid significantly more than me a week, then sorry, but I expect players to turn up. They're getting paid crazy money to basically train and kick a football. Like, let's keep it honest and real here. So yeah, standard 7 for me. Who's behind me? Martinelli. Martinelli, I'll give him a 6. There wasn't really anything. There was a few flashes of brilliance, but again, the fact that who why was Ancelotti using him in a 10? I don't know, but Ancelotti, he's on that senile route that Wenger was on, where they just trying anything. They're just trying anything just because they believe the player is good enough. I'm gonna put a square peg in a round hole, and that's what he was doing. And it's like, yeah, I can see Ancelotti's at the end of his game. He needs to hang up his boots sometime soon. You know, when these managers are just over the hill, and it's like, haven't you lot made enough money yet? Like, I don't get it. The amount of money these lot make, I'll be on early retirement if it was me. I wouldn't be doing none of this playing to 40 crap. For what? Like, what are we doing here? I've invested my money. I've saved enough to live the way I want to live my lifestyle. I'd be, if I've played since, I don't know, 21, first team football, hammering it from 25,000 a week up to 100,000 a week to crazy amounts they're on now. 250s, 300s now. I'm hanging up my boots. I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. I've made enough money. I'd be hanging up my boots. So Martinelli again, haven't seen him since 23-24 season. These four are the trifecta of not turning up since 23-24. So I'm looking heavily at them if they don't turn up this season, to be honest. Like, we need to have an uncomfortable conversation about them, because they've been getting away with it just because people like them. And don't get me wrong, I love these players, but no player is bigger than the club, and I'll always say that, and I will never stop saying that. So it is what it is. We move on. Mikel Moreno, super sub. The Spanish Ole Gunnar Solskjaer right here. Moreno, I gotta give him a hardcore 9. A hardcore 9. Okay, he didn't start games, but he did what needed to be done when it mattered, and he's so unlucky he didn't score that header in the final. Immense. I ain't got nothing else to say about him. We move on. Kai Havertz had a solid season, but I don't know what happened with him, to be honest. With the penalty, he totally blew it. But Kai has these moments, you know. He'll score a hard chance. He reminds me of Higuain. They score the hard chances and just miss sitters. Just miss them. Food on the plate? Nah. Knock the whole plate on the floor. This is what these guys do when they're playing sometimes. I don't understand it. I really don't. But it is what it is. Kai, I'll give him a standard. Actually, I'll give him a 5. There's no way they should have crashed out the way they should have crashed out, to be honest. So I'm giving him a 5. I'm sorry, Kai, but it is what it is. Gabby, I will give a standard 6, because he was immense as well. I think he was a great player throughout the World Cup, but he was stuck with dinosaurs at the back. Absolute dinosaurs. They're two wing backs in their late 30s, mid 30s to late. What are we doing here? What is happening with Brazil? Where is the talent? What is going on over there? So there needs to be an inquest as to what has happened to Jogo Benito, because I don't know what's happened to Jogo Benito. I really don't know what's happening over there. I really don't know. Something needs to be done and investigated there. But Gabby, I'll give him a standard, 6, as I said. They crashed out of the competition at a stage I don't expect Brazil to crash out at, but they're not the Brazil of old, so it is what it is. Gyökeres, I'll give him a standard 6. He did as much as he could in that Swedish side. Looked better than Isaac. Again, we're going to have an uncomfortable conversation about who is the best striker pound for pound for Sweden and in the Premier League, because Isaac isn't doing it on either front. And yeah, he's had injuries and whatever, but I'm not trying to hear the excuses, because Isaac's been having injuries since he arrived in the Premier League. So that's not an excuse. He was still putting up numbers. He isn't doing that anymore. So next season, I'm going to be watching him like a hawk. Wait for part 2. I'm going to do a part 2 of this, because there's still some more players to cover. So in the meantime, between time, laters.